Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Walking Dead series by The Verdict's End. I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm Gary.
And today we're talking about The Walking Dead, Dead City, episode 5, or season 1, episode 5, entitled Stories We Tell Ourselves. Gary, what did you think of the episode?
I thought this was a great episode. We learned a lot. We found out Maggie was what I said she was ever since Walking Dead. Out for self like everyone else.
She a liar.
Oh, and a liar. Oh, yeah. A liar. Right. A whole liar. Mm-hmm. She lied about a lot of stuff, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, I thought the episode was just okay. I still have more dislikes than I do likes, but overall, by the end of it, I was like, you know what? That's good. And then I didn't know it was only going to be 6 episodes.
Right.
I just assumed it was going to be, I didn't know it was going to be a short one like this. So I should have known because the first season, Walking Dead, was, I think, 6 episodes as well.
Yeah, I think they'd put a filler out there.
Yeah, see what they need to change, see where they need to go for season 2, right, if there is going to be a season 2.
So compared to last week's episode, where do you rank this?
I guess this one is a little bit better than last week's episode.
You know what? Let's start with your dislikes.
All right, first dislike is how did all the walkers get through the gate? And that was when Perlie and Negan were running and they had to squeeze through a little opening of the gate. And then it was cut to all the walkers were now inside the gate and they were surrounded. I'm like, how?
Yeah, all of the walkers.
The walkers don't have a brain. They should have been kept bumping into the gate, really.
Yeah, that happened too fast for me. In fact, they should have never got through the gate.
Right.
I mean, there's some things that's okay to leave out. And I think they wanted to create the illusion of them being surrounded. Mm-hmm. But it's okay to leave some parts of it out. They didn't even have to show behind them. They could have showed the wall closing in on them for both ends from walkers.
Right. And then that goes to the next one, which is how did they get surrounded so quickly? Because they were walking and there was only walkers behind them. And then now all of a sudden they're surrounded and it's I don't like it when it's always seconds to where we just made it in the nick of time. Every time it's always the nick of time. If we only had one more second, we would have made it.
Right.
The stealth walkers, when they were inside that building, there was a stealth walker sneaking behind them and then just walk by and it was all scary. I mean, I did start getting scared, but I'm like, that's not what these walkers are. They're not stealth.
Yeah, that was crazy. And these walkers are not going to just pass you. We've seen anytime they hear a noise, they come towards you. They're always hungry, always ready to eat.
Right.
And all of a sudden, they just walk past the room that you're in. But when you close the door, all of them know which room you're in.
Yeah, which door you went through.
So this door is wide open, and they had a little Michael Myers moment.
Yeah. It was scary, but I was like, but this is not that show.
And yes, that's a legit dislike.
Yeah.
It's legit.
All right, Maggie calling her home the bricks after Tomas described it. We've never heard, from memory, Maggie call it the bricks. And now every other word was the bricks, the bricks, the bricks. I'm like, okay.
And that's been my issue with this season. Because they're trying to make things remain the same from The Walking Dead. But it seems like they're trying a little too hard. They're trying to put their own touch on it, which is understandable. But like you said, this is the first time Maggie's called it that, and she only called it that after we heard it from
Tomas.
Tomas said, "Oh," and the look on Maggie's face. But we'll get to that. But yeah, so we hear Tomas say it the bricks, and we didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
But when we saw the look on her face, it was okay, it must be where she lived. Yeah, they must call it the bricks. Mm-hmm. And they said, this is what she called it.
The whole rest of the episode. Yeah. Ridiculous. All right, the Croat and that lady that it just introduced, it was weird. It was super weird. He was supposed to be the big boss on top, and then now he gets to her and he felt weak and not confident, and then this lady just, I don't know who she is. They didn't tell us who she is and what relation she would have to Negan, how she even know about Negan or care about Negan, and it was just weird.
I wasn't mad at the scene. I think this is really who the Croat is. He needs to follow somebody. He's not a leader. Although he learned a lot from Negan, learned how to control people, I don't think he has the brain or the willpower to actually lead people. And the lady they introduced us to, she seemed like a theater person. Like she had all little stage equipment and knicks and knacks behind her, the books everywhere. Like, it's almost like Caesar. Like they was trying to create a world, and it's more like an act. But we found out some important stuff when he talked to her.
What?
That they needed Negan. They felt like the world was going to fall apart, and they needed Negan to hold it together.
Okay. And I want you to, before we end, I want you to talk about your theories. Since now we know there is only one episode left, you have some theories of where things are going to end up.
Right.
Okay. And then the last one, I just had one more dislike. And that's the first aid kit on the bus. So you're telling me there's a bus. You got pillows, you got blankets, everything like that. It's 20 years into the apocalypse. But there's a first aid kit, like, intact, like where it's supposed to be on the bus. Still has supplies in it. It just, come on. Didn't make any sense.
Well, they tried to explain it a little bit.
What'd they say?
Like Perlie said, he said, how did you know that was there? And he said, all right, you was a gym teacher. So it seems like only teachers, because I didn't know they had a first aid kit on the bus.
No, I didn't either. But if I was living on the bus, I'm pretty sure if you're actually living on a bus, you're checking everything. You're checking everything.
Right. But that wasn't so bad. That should have made a dislike list.
Nah, it was a dislike. Because it was like, there's no way a first aid kit. You know how valuable that is in the apocalypse? And now here it is.
That's petty.
20 years into it. All right. Let's do likes. Well, do you have any more dislikes before we do likes?
No.
Okay. Well, okay, I'll say one more dislike. And it just was how fast everything happened this episode. We found out Tomas screwed them over. And then Maggie invites the lady to come and live at the bricks. And then she dies. And then Tomas dies. It happened so fast. It was like every time we find out something, just like how when Luther confronted Negan, it didn't last longer than an episode. He confronted him. They fought. He was dead. Maggie and this guy confront each other. Before anything happens, he's dead.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that everyone we met this season has died already.
Yeah.
Except Perlie.
Yes, except Perlie. Yeah. And the Croat.
And the team that we thought we were going to be with for a while.
Right, yeah.
Because I was becoming attached to this team.
Yeah, I did. I liked them.
Yeah, I liked them. And like all of them are dead.
Yep.
But are you surprised or shocked that he was setting him up?
Yes. I was shocked as that as well. Well, once Maggie, or was his wife was about to get in his backpack, he's like, no, I got it. And it's a super big deal out of it. But the fact that they highlighted him saying, no, it's okay, I got it. I was like, that was the first time I was like, oh, that's something suspicious of that. He didn't want her to check his backpack. And then once he came out with the face mask, the oxygen mask, I was like, damn, he's so obvious about it. And that's why I'm like, I know for sure he up to something.
Well, once you said something about the backpack, remember I told you, I said he's a part of it. And it makes sense because I think it was last episode or 2 episodes ago when she said, how do they keep finding us? Everywhere we go, they find us and our people are coming up missing.
Yeah, our numbers are going down smaller and smaller. And if he was smart, he would have like doubled, I don't know, like acted like he was working for the Croat and told his people like, yo, he wants me to tell him where they are. He's going to let us go. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give him a fake spot. And really, we're going to attack him when he comes to that spot. Like, I don't know. He could have worked around it versus what he did.
Well, obviously, he was scared. The Croat put a lot of fear in him. He said he was tortured.
Yeah. And
he thought this was the only way out, which I understand. Because, I'm not going to lie, I'll do the same thing. If it was me and you getting up out of there, man, I don't care who we found along the way.
But the thing is, how can he may have ended getting the wife killed anyways by doing that. I mean, look, she ended up dying anyways. So it's not even like every time they got attacked, he couldn't confirm or like guarantee her safety. So he was always taking chances.
That part.
You know?
Yeah. But I'm just saying I understand. I understand what he was thinking at the time. I'm not saying it was smart, but I understand.
I was disappointed because I really liked his character. I'm like, damn. And then it was just weird. They all stood together. Like, they stayed together after, like, learning that he screwed him over. And I'm like, okay, they just keep on walking.
Well, they have to stay together because who have we known in The Walking Dead that wasn't out for self? Besides Daryl.
Yeah. And Morgan.
Oh, and Morgan, yeah. But those are the only 2 that we know that's never been out for self.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have to go through a whole character list to see about that. But yeah, on top of mine, yeah.
Like Carol was Caroling the whole season. Yeah. Well, the whole series, Carol was Caroling.
Yeah.
We saw that Rick had an agenda. Rick's wife, Michonne. I can't believe I forgot her name. Yeah, Michonne had her own agenda. I mean, everybody was out for self in The Walking Dead except Daryl and Morgan.
Yeah. Speaking of Michonne and Rick, with them showing always the Daryl trailers, which look really good, but The Walking Dead does a really good job with their trailers. Like, every time I'm like, nah, I'm done with The Walking Dead, and then the trailers come on, like, it looks so good. Right. And even Daryl, I had no intention watching Daryl, and I'm like, damn, it looks good, but I cannot wait to where we start seeing the trailers for Michonne and Rick. I think we're going to get a lot of Walking Dead fans to come back at that point. All right, likes. This was sort of like a dislike, but it was funny, so I was like, I like it. And that is Ginny staying in character, not making a sound when those walkers came. Like, the walkers were literally attacking her, and she didn't make a peep. I'm like, right. What are you Michael Myers? Why are you not saying nothing?
She struggled in silence.
Yeah, she's struggling in silence. She's over there moving and trying to fight it quietly.
Yo, she didn't even say,
Yeah, she didn't say anything. I'm like, yo, I appreciate the commitment. So I liked it. I thought it was funny. And then the big one, which I believe I like sort of was scared and even sort of closed my eyes from this one. And those are the walkers, like the 4-in-1 walkers that attacked Maggie. And the heads were coming out of bodies of other walkers. Bravo, y'all did a really good job. That was good.
Great job on that.
That was real good.
That was spooky.
Yeah. Especially was crawling to her. It was good. It was like too many. It was creepy. Like, I know they seen some shit, but that can freak anybody. That would freak anybody out.
Yeah.
And even when she fought him, you're like, there's one more. There's one more. And then sure enough, there was that one more. She had to kill it.
Yeah, the lady.
Yeah.
I think it was a lady. It had long hair. It looked like a lady.
I don't even know.
That was attached to the back, and yeah, that was spooky.
And those were my only likes.
Those are the only likes?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you might name something that like, oh yeah, okay.
So how did you feel about her calling Maggie a liar?
I'm glad you just brought that up because it made me think of another scene, and once again, it's trying to bring "don't open" dead inside. I'm like, come on, you guys. Almost the exact words and exact setup. So I kind of thought about that with her writing the word liar. Because I'm like, you're escaping and you had time to sit here and write liar? Like, I don't know. So I thought of that scene with Perlie and Negan with the word, and I thought sort of Ginny writing the word liar. It was just like, why'd you waste your time writing that?
Well, I think like any civilization or survivors would have wrote that on the wall. Not the liar, but what Negan and Perlie saw.
But the exact words, "don't open, dead inside." I mean, I think it was the exact words.
Yeah.
But it was just the same way. Like, there's different ways to phrase, like, keep closed. There's dead people inside. Like, keep closed. There's walkers inside. I don't know. I would have made it more believable if they use different language. Because, yeah, everyone's going to write different things. But it's not like a universal language like SOS or something. So, yeah, if you...
Oh, you being petty for real.
No, if you're going to write this message and, like, there's dead folks inside, if you ask someone to write, hey, there's dead people inside, or tell us...
So was that plagiarism?
There's danger inside. Everyone's going to write, there's danger inside different ways.
Well, maybe someone's seen it. Maybe someone's seen it along the way and they know, like, okay, this is a universal thing to write. Because these people, I mean, it's 20 years in. So think about how many times people have seen those words. So you're going to... When I get to the next place, I'm going to write those same words like "don't open, dead inside." When I get to the next place, "don't open, dead inside." Because this has become a universal language to there's dead people in here.
Well, then if it's so universal, wouldn't you just only need to say "dead inside"? If there's dead inside, then you know not to open.
All right, literature teacher.
I'm just saying, it's not year one. You just said it's 20 years. Yeah, so all you got to write, yo, there's dead inside. You don't got to tell them not to open it. What, you going to tell them not to eat it too? Don't eat any of them. Don't touch them. Don't be friends with them.
What, you going to get to it and be angry? Cross out some parts of it?
I don't know.
So you difficult.
Man.
I know you're going to be difficult. I might as well leave you if we just...
All I'm saying is it just was too much, but... Okay, what else did you like?
No, but let's get back to the liar.
Okay.
I thought this put a lot of things together and it explains why she left. because she told the story to them beforehand.
Yes,
she told them that they came, they raided, took everything, did XYZ to their people, and boom, we're here. So I appreciate her, looking around and saying, hold up, this don't look like a place that's been raided. These people are mighty happy here. They have a lot of crops. And then looking inside the little, I think that was like a water thing that they put grains in.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it was a grain. I think it looked like a grain. I don't know what it's called, but like a grain holder.
Yeah, but that's usually how the water holders look.
Yeah, but they have those for grains too.
Okay, all right. But her looking inside and seeing all those grains, and that explains why she went after Negan. That's why I said I appreciate them putting everything together, because I thought it was like straight stupid of her to leave.
Yeah.
And then when she saw Maggie, I'm like, Maggie, why are you not coming out?
Right.
So this brought a lot of things. This is why she didn't come out. She don't trust Maggie. She knew she had to go save Negan.
I'll allow it. I just kind of question why
you allow it.
So skeptical of everything and going like, let me double check and see if these grains are here.
Well, she probably got skeptical while she was eating dinner.
Well, not only that, just because Maggie said they took all the grain, I would just assume that there's more grain. Like how long, I would just assume that was extra.
Oh, so you're not a literature teacher no more.
No, I'm just.
So all don't mean all anymore.
I mean, no. I like that scene. I like what they did. I like them showing the flashback of Ginny checking. And now that you're saying I did like it, I don't get why Maggie lied. Like, what was the point of her lying and everything like that?
The point was to get Negan where she had to get Negan so she'd get her son back.
Yeah, but why couldn't she have just said, Negan, they took my son. They want you. Like, what's still wrong with telling him exactly what happened?
Well, apparently, Maggie must know that Negan's a changed person. She have to know. She has to know that Negan wouldn't come with him. Wouldn't come with her if she asked him to.
But he did come with her.
He came with her over the lie.
You think he came just because they took the food? Because she said they took the food?
No, because they took her son.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They still took her son.
No.
That's not the lie.
No, but the lie was they came in and they pulled a Negan on them. All she heard was whistling. Next thing you know, they came in, to raided the place, took all their food, took all the grains, and this. I mean, she really like put the cherry on top of that story.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Like if she would have told Negan like, "Hey, the Croat came and he said that if I can't deliver you to him, then he would keep my son. So can you come with me?" She probably think that she don't know at this time that Negan don't have his own family.
Yeah.
That Negan's not with his family. So yeah, she had to think of a quick lie to tell him to get him to come.
I honestly call bullshit on them coming and taking your son. Like, Maggie, you've been in so many towns now that have been overrun with people. You should be an expert, military expert on how not to get overrun and have systems in place, because you're not taking my son. If we all die right here, we're going to die right here, but you're not taking my kid. That's what's not going to happen.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because Maggie lied. They never went there. They never came there.
Yeah, it looked like it was like they were kind of met on the street.
Yeah, they caught Maggie on the road. Maggie and her son was traveling somewhere when she got caught. That's why when Thomas said, yeah, he told me there's a safe place that he'll let me go to called the Bricks. That's why Maggie looked like that.
Yeah.
And I said at the time, I said, why do Maggie look like they don't know what the bricks are?
Mm-hmm.
If everything Maggie told them was true, yeah, they know that this is your place. They know that this is a safe place. But Maggie looked like, hold up.
How do he actually know where we stay?
How do we know where yeah. That was a look on her face. So Maggie lied about the entire thing. Maggie got caught slipping while she was out and about with her son. And the Croat didn't have to say too much. All he did was take her son and show him Negan and turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think she lied about the whistles. I think while she was out and about, she heard that.
Okay. Yeah. No, that part was good. You're right. That part was good. What else you got? What else did you like? That's it.
I just like, what's the girl name?
Ginny.
I just like Ginny being brave and able to call Maggie on her bullshit just in general. Mm-hmm. Like she wrote liar to let Maggie know, like, hey, I know you're a liar. It doesn't matter what you say right now.
Right.
That's why you tried to burn my little teddy bear or my little rabbit or whatever, because you didn't want Negan to know I was here, because she knew that if Negan knew, Negan was going to get Ginny back to safety.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, that part played out perfectly.
Yeah, I do like Ginny. The actress is doing really good, especially for her not to have any speaking words, but her acting is so good. You know what she's thinking. You know what she's feeling.
Yeah, just the way she moved her eyes, just the way when Maggie was talking to her, said that, hey, yeah, I'm going to keep you safe. The way she looked at Maggie, like,
yeah, I don't fuck with you.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Right.
I know why you're here. You lied about everything. You took my daddy from me.
Yeah. And that there comes a problem eventually when you're going to put... Well, Maggie didn't technically put Ginny in jeopardy, but she did by taking Negan away. And there is a problem when you put one kid's safety in jeopardy for another.
Right.
You know, because technically she did. She took Negan away, her Ginny's guardian away.
Well, like I said, everybody have their own selfish reasons for doing things. Mm-hmm. And we found that out the last season of The Walking Dead. Was it the last season when Maggie came back?
Yeah.
Or was it season 4?
Yeah, you was bashing Maggie. Yeah, I think she came back in season 10.
Man, don't say it like that.
You was bashing Maggie the whole time when she came back. You said she's not one of us no more.
She's not. She wasn't.
Yeah, and I do feel you now.
Yeah, like Maggie left. She found her people. The only reason Maggie is back with us is because she needed help getting her place back. Mm-hmm. So Maggie...
She's a user.
Yeah. She have her own selfish reasons for doing things.
Glenn would never, is all I could say.
Glenn might have. For his family?
I don't know.
See, I think it's more dangerous having your family with you. Because if your family's with you, no one else with you is safe.
Yeah. Because you would screw somebody over. Like what Shane did. And, you might have to trip somebody up to be able to escape or whatever.
Right.
So if you got your family and there's like 2 more extra people, okay, one of y'all about to get tripped up.
Hey, you don't have no talking rolls anyway.
Yeah, right.
Stick my foot out.
Right.
You're out of here.
Now, let's talk about the theory that you have with Negan.
Well, before that,
okay.
Although we talked about them needing Negan, I want to go deeper into that.
All right.
So we know the Croat. And like I said, he's not a leader. He's more of a soldier. Which Negan taught him that. And we see this theatrical lady. And I actually like that they knew their strengths and weaknesses. And they knew they weren't going to be able to hold that long. So it was smart of them to go find someone who could hold it down before, things came to a head. Which you see, well, I don't think anything was coming to a head right then, because the deputy wouldn't have been there, or the sheriff or the marshal wouldn't have been there if Negan didn't come there. So they actually brought the marshal there.
Yeah, because he's like, Crow was like, yeah, you said things would try to return back to normal.
Right.
I already got one marshal here looking for Negan. They're trying to bring all that stuff back.
Right. So by this being an elaborate plan by them two to get a leader in there that could hold the place together, I thought that was brilliant.
But the thing is, it seems like they need someone to hold the place together because of their own doing. I'm pretty sure if they weren't bullying and trying to traumatize people, they all could have been living on this island peacefully. Like, you're the one that's causing the war and the drama, and then now you're like, okay, we need a strong leader to keep these people away. These people weren't probably going to bother you. You started bothering them. You
have to think about it. In The Walking Dead, there's always a threat. If you're not the threat, you're going to be threatened. There's always a new villain. There's always someone who, like the Dib people, the wolves. There's always going to be someone that's going to come and try to be the president. Everybody wants to be the leader. No one could just come in and sit down. Oh, I was about to cut. Oh, no one come in and sit down.
Yeah.
Everybody want to come in and say, hey, I know how to do this better. What were you going to say?
No, I see what you're saying, but once again, they could have actually had all those people that they have now killed that could have been part of their tribe to keep the community safe. And they could have kind of split the city up into like the boroughs or whatever. And like, okay, you're over the Bronx, you're over Brooklyn, you're over Manhattan, whatever. And we're all going to work together to keep this place safe. And any outside people who don't want to be with us, then they're going to be against us. Like, they could have kept their numbers strong, but instead he dwindled it by being the terror.
I understand what you're saying, but I think that in order for people to stay in line, there's going to have to be some kind of fear level there. I mean, just in real life, there has to be a fear level of the law. Like, oh, if I do this, I'm going to jail. Like, there has to be a fear level there for people to stay in line and follow rules. Otherwise, it's going to be this anarchy.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, though.
But my theory is Negan's going to stay. I think the season finale, we're going to see Negan. I don't know if he's going to be holding the bat, but I think Negan is going to get Maggie out of there, Ginny out of there, Maggie's son, Herschel. Is he Herschel Jr.? He's not Jr.
No,
they
didn't call him Junior. Yeah, okay. Herschel.
So I think Negan is going to get them out of there, but I think Negan is going to actually take the throne back.
Yeah, you think he's going to have a new Lucille by the end?
He's going to have a new Lucille. There's nothing for Negan to go back to. He said himself, like, he said, my family's dead. He said, a part of me know they're already dead, but a part of me is still holding hope that they're alive. But with that part of him that think his family is already dead, what does he have to go back to? The marshals are always going to be after him. Like this marshal right here, like, Negan saved his life. Negan told him, like, hey, if you would have saw how my wife looked, then you would understand why I did what I did. Yeah. So Negan's putting all his cards out there.
And that's another thing. So he's saying the reason why the marshals hunting him down is because of the people he killed who beat up his wife. Right. But then he said he hasn't seen his wife and kid for years already. So has the marshal been hunting Negan down for years at this point?
I think so. Yes. Okay. And it must have been multiple, because like Negan said, that if I let you die right here, the next person is going to be worse. Okay. So Negan must know that there's every time someone come after him, they're always worse than the person before. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I don't think Negan has anywhere to go back to. The Crow already set it up for him. Negan, although we see his soft side, he wasn't made for this. Yeah. He was made for what he was doing before. He was made to run the saviors.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of people might tune in if it's like, ooh, bad Negan is back. Right. Yep. It kind of goes to the well, not really, but like I think of once again Angel from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was good and then he turned bad. And everyone wanted the good Angel back. And Negan's like the opposite. He's bad and he turned good. And now we want the bad one back. But another thing with Negan, I just read a story on, I think it was Am I the Asshole? And it's a girl saying, hey, her parents won't come to her wedding. Turns out the fiance had a checkered past. He was a felon or something. And then after the comments, you go through the comments of the story, and it turns out that the fiance went to jail for sexual assault. And everyone in the comments were like, yeah, of course your parents won't ever support that marriage. Like, he sexually assaulted someone. That's unforgivable. That's not something you can ever move past. But for whatever reason, when I read that, I immediately thought of Negan. And I'm like, but we somehow forgave Negan. And Negan did stuff like that and way worse. Like, he might not said he was raping these girls, but it was like, sleep with me, or, you get burnt to the face, or you and your family are outside. Right. So I kind of thought about that and how we look at a serious sexual assault, like in real world, and then versus how we've sort of forgiven Negan and like kind of like rooting for him.
Negan was an ultimate villain. Yeah.
But in real life, he wouldn't be someone that we'd be like cheering on, like, yay, Negan, you're saved, you repented.
If the world came to an end, we don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Either him or the zombies. Yeah. Well, we might choose Negan.
All right, let's get into I ain't fearing shit and most likely to die.
Jenny's not fearing shit. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there. She called Maggie a liar to her face in big bold letters, and then shot off the little the flare gun to let Negan know I'm here.
Yeah, I was gonna say Perlie because he came after Negan with his little bum leg and everything, but I actually want real quickly before I say I ain't finished shit because I just thinking of Perlie. What did you think of his story now that we found out who was in that letter? It was his brother, and like how they didn't get along or something like that.
I get it.
You were moved by it?
I was moved by it, but I get it.
Okay.
And I understand it because there's a lot of family members that don't really mess with each other, but they'd be horrified if something happened to that family member, or they're going to always think of what could I have done to help this person, no matter how many times they tried to help the person.
Yeah,
it's going to always be like, did I do enough? Was I really trying to help them, or did I just give them the minimum?
Yeah. I think eventually you gotta know, like, you gotta be at peace with, like, making sure you're always at peace with everyone that you know.
Right.
Like right now, there's no one. If someone died tomorrow, there's not going to be like, oh, I wish I told them this. There's no one that I have that, you know?
Right. And especially when the world comes to an end, those are the people you grew up with, your brothers, sisters, mothers, cousins, fathers, everybody. Those are the people you want around you. Those are people that you really want safe. Because you want to talk about the past.
Yeah, the happy memories. Those are the ones that know the memories. Yeah,
you want to have the Thanksgiving conversations with them. Maybe every other weekend.
Yeah,
I remember when me and you first met, and the first time I went to your family house, and you and your sisters. Oh, y'all was remember when this happened, this, that, the other, and I was like, oh, that's kind of dope. But then like the next time we went, y'all was remembering the same stuff. Then after that, y'all just remember the same. I'm like, y'all keep remembering the same thing.
We have our go-to memories.
yeah, go-to stories. But those are stories that y'all love. That it held a special place in your heart. So, and everybody wants that, especially when they don't have it anymore.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. All right, so for I Ain't Fair and Shit, I'll agree. Ginny, she was a little girl. Remember she first ran up and Maggie was like, yo, that place is locked. Like, come down. Come on back down, girl.
Yeah, she was trying to get away from Maggie for the longest.
Yeah, she really was. I liked how she took the gas, take the oxygen mask.
That's Maggie, though.
I'm like, come on.
So that was a like of mine.
Okay.
That Maggie stayed Maggie. Maggie is very emotional.
Yeah.
And she's going to die on her pettiness.
Yeah, she is. Because she almost died. And then even after Tomas and his wife died, I'm like, okay, why didn't you grab the face mask now?
Yo, even while they're dead, she would have been petty.
She refused. That's how Ginny was able to run away. So,
right.
Yeah, I ain't fair and shit, Ginny. All right, most likely to die. I got a good one.
I think it's going to be the new lady. I think the new lady.
With the Croat?
With the Croat. The theater lady.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who is she? I need to look that up.
Yeah. I have no clue. I'm not feeling her character at all. It's just too over dramatic. Just like the Croat.
That's why I said she was an actress in the theaters.
Yeah.
Because it just looked like a performance.
Yeah.
And everything about her, around her and about her said performing art. And we've seen that most of the people that's running the zombie apocalypse were not military people. You know what I'm saying? They weren't police officers. Mm-hmm. Except Rick. But, they weren't people that was real aggressive.
Right.
Like, you have Negan. He was a gym teacher.
Yep.
You had the trash lady, which was
she was a teacher too.
Yeah, she was a teacher also.
Mm-hmm.
And damn. Now you have this lady who's obviously in a theatrical field, might be a teacher.
Can you blame teachers from becoming villains?
It's like teachers,
if shit hits the fan, they rightfully so should become a villain.
Well, when shit hit the fan, we realized they're the ones that's smart enough.
And they pissed off enough.
They're the ones that's smart enough to put things together.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say most likely to die is Maggie.
You think so?
I have a feeling. Like, her character, I was going to say she can't be redeemed. She's done too much. And although Negan's been redeemed. I'm like, she's done too much. But I don't know. With Ginny calling her a liar, it kind of just hit a little different. Like, damn, Maggie, you have done some shit. But
I'm not mad at her.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be a big twist if it turns out Maggie dies and Negan becomes Negan again.
I don't think Maggie's going to die. But then again, that might be a shocker.
Yeah, I mean, they killed all these small characters, so what big person can they kill? They're not going to kill Negan. That's their moneymaker.
I think Maggie's their moneymaker, too.
I don't know.
I don't think Maggie's going to die. I think Negan's going to take his throne, but I don't think Maggie's going to die. I think Maggie's going to leave with her son and Ginny and the sheriff. I mean, the marshal. I think they're leaving together. But, I mean, you never know. I mean, that might be a shocker, but it's going to be a crazy second season.
Well, if Maggie ends up leaving and the Croat's still alive, Negan's still alive, if I was her, I would go somewhere else. I wouldn't even go back to the bricks. Like, because I ain't playing these games. Now you still know where I am. Maybe 5 years, 10 years from now, you might be bored or you run out of supplies and you're like, well, fuck, let's just go to Maggie's place because we know she got something. Like, after that, I'm dipping. I'm going west and just keep going.
You're going to Rome or something with Daryl?
Yeah, somewhere across the ocean with Daryl. I don't know.
Jumping on a cruise ship.
Yeah, somehow, some way, but
a charter yacht.
Yep.
What if they have charter yachts? These rich people probably have.
There's a lot of Now that would be a fun show to watch the rich live the zombie apocalypse.
Right.
Because even
we almost seen it
with Fear. Yeah, I was gonna say, because remember when they were on that boat and they were living it up, and I'm like, how did you guys ever get off that yacht? Like, I don't know what happened. There was not enough that happened to excuse getting off that yacht.
Yeah, you couldn't get me off the yacht.
Yeah.
I don't care if I ran out of gas.
Yeah, like we gonna make it work.
Right.
Because all you gotta do is fish in the ocean, fish from the ocean right there. But all right, that is all we got, you guys. We will be back next week with the season finale. And I still need to do my Apple TV podcast shows. And actually, Hijack is about to be over, so I might just wait until the season finale of Hijack, because I think we only have like one or how many episodes? There's been like 6, right? Or has there been 5?
I think we have one more episode.
Okay, because there's 7 episodes. So if there's been 5, there's 2 more, and if there's been 6, there's 1 more. But it was a good, fun probably one season watch. I don't see them like. I think it's gonna. The show's is gonna end by the end of the episode.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. Until then, I'm Nicole.
I'm Gary.
Bye.